Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there.
To the store past many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times, and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president to maintain order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to Puerto Rico and the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the Emblem of Washington,
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage gift among members to strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the year of corn,
Your duties there.
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization, and I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the President so stated?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members. We have 48 members and 105 guests present, Madam President. Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? Our agricultural opportunities and responsibilities and develop the qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purpose, I now declare this meeting of the Casey County FFA chapter duly open for the transaction of business or attendance to any matters which may properly be presented. Madam Secretary, what is the first item of business? Welcome by our chapter president, Misty Atwood. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming this evening to our banquet. It is the highlight of our year, and I want you to know that our members are working very hard to win these prestigious awards that we are giving out tonight. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Madam Secretary, what is the next item of business? Introduction of guests by Jay Price.
I have to echo what Misty has said, that we're honored that each of you have come out tonight to be with us, and this is the highlight of our year. This is the night where we're going to showcase the talent that we have here in the FFA. We're proud of each of you to join us tonight. We have some people that I want to recognize as being special tonight. It took a lot of work and a lot of effort to put this banquet on. We're really pleased to have this number here. The Casey County pork producers, they served over 600 burgers on the bypass today between 11 and 3 o'clock. Some of you probably had some of those. Well, they came on out tonight and prepared 250 more burgers here tonight. And we couldn't do without them. They support us in a lot of different ways. The FFA is a community effort, and we're supported a lot by the community. So I'd like you to join me in giving them a round of applause. We had 3 ladies that helped us in the kitchen do the serving. Kathy, Sally, and Teresa, they helped us with the decorations and the servings, and I know they won't come out, but we really appreciate their help. Also, I want to recognize some teachers that are with us tonight from here in our school building. Mrs. Sagers, would you please stand? Mrs. Hoskins and Mrs. Wilkinson. FFA members and guests, join me in recognizing them. You know, as I said, it's a community effort, and without the support of our teachers, I know administrators are busy tonight. They planned on being here. Things happened that they couldn't, but we really appreciate the support that you give the FFA. I want to recognize Mr. and Mrs. John Burrow Murphy. Would you all stand, please? I always feel honored when Mr. Murphy is with us and in our presence here. I worked with him for 10 years as an advisor here, and I don't think he's missed a banquet since he's retired. So we really appreciate them. Please join me in a round of applause. They're very, very close to us here at the FFA. With them, as guests tonight, is Mr. and Mrs. Gary Russell. I'd like you to stand. Gary is a former FFA member, and I understand he won a district contest in talent, individual music, I believe that was. Let's join them for a round of applause. 50 years ago. I tell you, our speaker for tonight was running a bit late, and I thought we were going to have to put you up here. So, okay, moving along, I want to recognize all of the families of our FFA members. And if you would, I know some of you are kind of sitting crossways in your chair and all, but we'd like you to stand up, and we want to give you a round of applause. If you want to turn your chair a little bit to make it more comfortable, feel free in doing that. So please stand up. And FFA members, help me in giving them a round of applause. Okay. Thank you very much. We have several former FFA officers that are here. I always like to recognize them. So would you please stand? Former FFA officers. Now there's more than that. Harvey, Kevin. Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here. We have Rick Cooper, principal at the elementary school at Douglas Elementary. We welcome you. We have our sheriff, Bob Weddle. We welcome you. Linda Carmichael from the Casey County News. We're glad each of you are here. Harvey Luttrell, I'd like you to stand. Harvey, we'll catch you again here later. You know, you're a big supporter of the FFA. We really appreciate you, and we mean that deep down in our heart. I'd like for Mr. Ware and his family and my family to please stand all together. You know, it's family support that helps us get through. So I'd like for all of you to stand. Mother-in-law, mother, brother. So we really appreciate our families. Thank you. I just have one comment I want to make here, and then I'm going to get into our keynote speaker. What is FFA designed to do? And here's a statement I want you to think about. FFA is here to motivate young people and to make a positive contribution to their homes, to their schools, and to their communities, and to our country as a whole. That's what the FFA is all about. You saw some of that leadership displayed here tonight in our opening ceremonies. I thought they did a terrific job. And, you know, we're going to make some mistakes tonight. We're going to see some of these officers and other people make some mistakes, but so be it. You know, we want you to sit back and enjoy this, and we're glad that you're here. Now, I ran into this gentleman a couple weeks ago. His name is Brandon Reed. He is our state FFA Association president. And I think it's an honor to have him here representing thousands of FFA members across the state of Kentucky. So I'm going to ask Brandon at this time to come forward and bring greetings from the State Association.
How's everybody doing here tonight? Doing good? On behalf of myself, my 10 fellow state FFA officers, and nearly 13,000 members across this great Commonwealth, I bring you greetings on behalf of the Kentucky FFA Association. Now, one of my state officers is a dear friend of mine. His name's Brian Bramble. He's from the Carter County FFA chapter, and that's way over in eastern Kentucky. Now, he was at a convention one time. It was a conservation convention, and he saw a couple of farmers off in the corner talking to one another, and he just decided to go sit next to them and see what they was talking about. Well, there was an Iowa farmer there that night, and there was the Eastern Kentucky farmer. And they was right back talking about the good old times, talking about the farms. And the Iowa farmer, he just kept talking about how big his farm was. He just kept bragging. And finally, the Eastern Kentucky farmer, well, you know what? He just kind of got tired of it. And he just asked him, well, just how big is your farm? And the Iowa farmer heard back and said, well, I tell you what I can do. I can start at 6:30 in the morning, keep on driving, and end up, and I cannot be off my farm 6:30 at night. Well, the Eastern Kentucky farmer, he just wrote back and laughed a little bit. He said, I know what you're talking about. I have a truck that runs like that too. I tell you what, I go to chapter banquets, I like to talk about a theme, and my theme this year is time, and how time affects people, and how time affects FFA members, especially on a night like tonight. Now, I tell you what, I can't be able to do this by myself, so I tell you what I need. I'm going to need 2 volunteers. Now, everybody's getting down in their seat, and I ain't going to pick, but I just need 2 volunteers. But I tell you what I need. I need a freshman or a green hand, just one freshman or a green hand FFA member. And you ain't going to have to talk or anything. You ain't going to have to say a word. I just need to use it for a demonstration. And if you could, whoever it is, just go on this far end of the table. Now, come on now. Don't be bashful. All right, come on up. You're the next contestant. Just kind of go over here and just stand, and if you would, just go ahead and just unzip your jacket if you would for me. All right, thank you very much. Now I need a senior FFA member. Now it could be an officer or one out in the crowd. If you would, and whoever it is, just go on this end of the table over here. All right, Cord. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, there's 2 special things going on here tonight. One is we have FFA members coming into this organization. This is their first banquets. For some of them, it might be the first time that they've worn their FFA jacket. You never know. But this is the first time. And over here, we have one of those members here tonight. And you know, the FFA is a progressive organization. Involves leadership, citizenship, and cooperation. But you know, something kind of neat happens. I once heard a person say that the FFA, well, it's just over when you take your FFA jacket off and you go alive. That FFA experience is over. But you know what? I disagree here tonight. The FFA experience is not over, and I'll tell you why. Because for this member right here, if you would, just kind of start zipping your jacket up just a little bit. Not all the way, but maybe halfway. I tell you what, as this member grows in the FFA, you know what he's doing? He's storing up all the leadership experiences, the citizenship, the services community, the services chapter, building itself up. What's he doing? He's storing up all the FFA experiences, all the positive differences that he's made and people's made on his life, and he's just storing them up. And if you would, just go ahead and close up that jacket. And before you know it, it's a senior night. And for some seniors here tonight, it will be the last time that they ever wear their FFA jacket. It will be the last time they put it on and they take it off tonight. It will be the last time they ever take it off. Now, I know there are some events coming up. There's probably regional banquets and state conventions. There's different things coming up. But for maybe some, it'll be the last time they ever wear the FFA jacket. But let me tell you something. The FFA doesn't stop here. On all actuality, the FFA just now begins for that individual. Tonight, we have a senior individual, Corey. If you would, just go ahead and unzip your jacket all the way. Unzip it all the way. Thank you very much. And just kind of open up. I tell you what, go ahead and just take your jacket off. Just go ahead and take it off, if you would. There we go. Well, we'll give you time to fix it back. Mr. Proctor over here. See what just happened? We had an FFA member that has grown and zipped his jacket up and stored inside, and all of a sudden it's a senior night. And all of a sudden, everything that they stored inside, all the experiences in the FFA, they just let it out. And from now, the FFA experience truly begins because they show the world what they're made of. They show what the FFA has produced. Give these gentlemen a round of applause here tonight. We'll give Flora a chance to put a jacket back on. But next, I wanted to say thank you to the parents. Thank you for letting us use your students for a while so that this organization, and it has, make a positive difference in the lives of these students. through premier leadership, personal growth, and career success. If you would, just look down your placemats here tonight. I saw something very interesting, and it's the FFA mission. That's just kind of what I said. And if we can all at the same time, just read that, if you would. Starting now, just go ahead and read that out loud. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the FFA, for supporting these young folks. And FFA members here tonight, remember, when you take that FFA jacket off for the last time, that experience just begins. Show the world what you're made of and make us proud, and you already have. Thank you very much.
Brandon Reed. On behalf of the Casey County FFA chapter, I would like for you to accept this token of our appreciation. Madam Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Speaking awards by Ashley Aces.
The FFA offers many opportunities to its members. In addition to the team activities, we have many individual opportunities with speaking contests. These competitions help us polish our speaking skills and build self-confidence. The Prepared Public Speaking Contest requires a 6 to 8 minute speech with questions from judges. This year, our chapter was represented by Brandy Patterson. The impromptu speeches are 3 to 5 minutes in length and offer a wide range of subjects. This year, our chapter was represented by Billy Hatter, who talked about beef, Corey Wilson for crop, Misty Atwood for dairy, Laura Patterson for floral, Sarah Miller for horse, Miranda Evans for nursery and landscape, Corey Hayes for salon, and Deonica Asbury for sheep. Deonica will also compete in state competition next month. The FFA Creed is a basic statement of beliefs and a common bond between members. New members are required to learn and recite the Creed in order to receive their Greenham degree. This year, our chapter was represented by Cameron Griffith in a Creed speaking contest. We are very proud to have our very own regional Creed speaking winner here tonight. Cameron, would you please come forward and receive your plaque and your national Creed?
Fellow FFA members, advisors, and special guests, it is with great pride and honor that I present to you the FFA Creed. I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and the past generations of agriculturalists, and the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and to work on a good farm or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life and hold an inborn fondness for those associations which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to think clearly and work efficiently with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturalists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, in a life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so for others as well as myself, in less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. The Creed was written by Ian and Tiffany and adopted at the 3rd National Convention of the FFA. It was revised at the 38th Convention and the 63rd Convention. Thank you.
I hope that you will always carry the spirit of the Creed in your heart and the words in your memories. Jody Hatter will present the next award. Thank you.
I will be presenting the Leadership, Outstanding Leadership, and Scholarship Award. The Leadership Award will be given to those FFA members who have displayed outstanding leadership abilities this year. Freshman Darren Waters. Freshman Corey Wilson. Sophomores Adam Dean. Sophomore Donald Clemens. Junior Ashley Edwards. Senior Adam Kane. And senior Missy Adams. The Outstanding Leadership Award was awarded last summer at the FFA Leadership Training Center. Receiving this award is Ashley Esther. The Scholarship Award will be presented to those members in the agriculture classes with the highest GPA. All of these members have a 4.0 GPA. They are freshmen Cameron Griffin, freshman Philip Moore, sophomore Andrea Sayers, junior Ashley Evans, and senior Marguerite. Corey Hayes will present the next award. Thank you.
I'll probably mess up before I finish, so forgive me, please. Each year our treasurer keeps a treasurer's book. And this year Kelly submitted her book at regional competition, receiving a superior rating and winning the region. She did a fantastic job. Kelly has been an outstanding treasurer for the past 2 years for our chapter. And Kelly, will you please step forward and receive this award? Each year, our secretary records minutes and all activities the FFA competes in, all the meetings that we hold. Margaret Richardson submitted her book. She received a superior rating. Margaret did a fine job this year, and I'm glad to say that I was part of the team which she served on for 2 years. Margaret, will you please come forward and accept your award? This year, our reporter, I failed to do this last year, I'm sorry, but this year our reporter constructed a chapter scrapbook. She also submitted her scrapbook at the regional level, and she received another superior rating. As you can see, our chapter is very well represented at the regional level. I believe we have a lot of good competitors here, and I wish you all the best of luck. But Kristen also received a superior rating. Kristen, will you please come forward and accept your award? Each year, a freshman competes in the seat identification contest. Last year's competitor was Matthew Richardson. He competed at Eastern Kentucky University and at the Kentucky State Fair. Matthew represented our chapter well. Will you please come forward and receive your award? He's not with us tonight. So Andrea Salliers will present the next awards.
Tonight I'm presenting the Chapter Rating Team Award. The team consists of 6 officers and 4 members. During the contest, they had 9 minutes to demonstrate their parliamentary procedure abilities. They received an excellent rating at the regional level. And they are Misty Atkins, Corey Hayes, Margaret Richardson, Kelly Bird, Christine Pepper, Danny Kennington, Bianca Asbury, TJ Hayes, Brandon Garrett. Brandon will present our next award.
I will be giving out 3 awards tonight. The competition they was in was the welding team, soil judging team, and record keeping. I would like to present the welding team awards. The welding team is chosen each year from the Ag Construction Skills classes. Casey County hosted the contest this year, and the team finished third in the regional competition. Team members are TJ Hayes, Jason Grider, which I don't think he's with us tonight. TJ Ellis, and Aaron West. The soil judging team is chosen each year from the plant and animal science classes. The team placed third in the regional competition. Team members are Brandon Martin, Jeremy Wilkerson, Nick Weddle, and Josh Borden. Last one I will be giving out is the record-keeping team. The record-keeping team is chosen by the freshman classes. The team rated excellent on the regional level. Team members are Cameron Griffin, Darren White, and Becky McDonald.
There are 4 degrees that an FFA member can receive. They are the Green Hands, Chapter, State, and National. Out of the students receiving the Green Hands, there are 4 students that receive the Star Green Hands. These students show outstanding leadership qualities and are the most active in the chapter. This year's Star Green Hands of the fall semester are Laura Patterson and Lori Reddington. And of the spring semester, they are Cameron Griffith and Dale Fenton. Billy Hatter will be presenting the next award.
Tell you what, y'all, I'm going to take time to do something. First of all, I think we need to recognize one person who wasn't recognized. The man back here on the videotape before he fixed this sign up here for us, and I'd like for y'all to give him a nice round of applause. Mr. Adam Dean. I'll be presenting the Chapter Sweetheart Award. The FFA is a national organization that got its start in 1928. Ever since it was founded, young men all over the nation wanted to join this organization to learn more about how to manage a farm. The FFA didn't get off to a very great start. At the first national convention, only 33 delegates showed up. At that time, membership dues were set at 10 cents apiece. Over 72 years, the FFA has changed quite a bit. It now has grown to accommodate approximately 500,000 members. Since the beginning of the FFA, ladies weren't allowed to join. That all changed in 1969. At the 41st convention, delegates voted to let girls join the club. Every year thereafter, each chapter is elected the Chapter Sweetheart. This year, the Chapter Sweetheart chapter has elected a promising young lady to accept this award. If she would, Andrea Siders, please come forward and receive your medallion. Now, if you would, Mr. Harvey Luttrell will present the next award.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure for me to come back and be part of this program and take a lot of pride in doing it on behalf of Farm Credit Services. And I think that was some excellent remarks from State President, Mr. Reed. Good job. And what I'm here for is to present the Star Farmer Award and the Star Agribusinessman Award. And of course, as I always say, Farm Credit didn't have anything to do with selecting who these individuals are, because I I was handed a couple of cards a few minutes ago and said, here they are, get up and present them. And I'm proud to do that. So for the Star Farmer Award, Misty Atwood, stand up here. Misty is the daughter of Clint and Norman Atwood, and you all heard from her tonight, doing a good job presiding over this meeting. Some of her experiences says that she's had sheep impromptu, dairy impromptu, chapter meeting team 2 years, Star Green Hands, attended Kentucky FFA Leadership Training Center, National Convention, State Convention Delegate, a chapter secretary, chapter president, and regional treasurer. And her farming program consists of beef cattle, burley tobacco, and hay. Misty, it's a privilege for me to present you this award. I guess this is right here. Okay, for the Star Agribusinessman, this is Corey Hayes. Stand up here, Corey. He's the son of Pete and Joyce Hayes. And some of his activities is chapter meeting team, swine impromptu 3 years, attended national convention, state convention delegate, chapter reporter, chapter vice president, and he's a candidate for a state office at the state convention in June. I'm not sure which state officer it is. Will you take any position? Any available? There you go. Did y'all notice a few minutes ago when he pulled that coat off? I mean, he looked just like a politician to me. I mean, he looked just exactly like a state representative. And he's on his way to fame right here by being a candidate for a state convention or an officer at the state convention. Some of his program consists of raising cabbage, and he's worked, it says, 1,133 hours at a garden center as a garden center employee at Walmart. So it's a pleasure for me to present you this award. Okay, I always try to bring a little, I like to think of it as being knowledge to share with this group. And I really hadn't brought anything tonight. So I walked in here, and the first two people that met me was Mr. Price and Mr. Ware. And I thought they was going to tell me where to go sit, like they always do, get over here and sit at the table, be quiet until it's time to get up and do what we're supposed to do. But the first thing they done, they handed me this piece of paper and said, we've got the greatest idea that ever was to replace tobacco. Y'all heard a lot of news lately about our tobacco programs in trouble. What are we going to do to replace that income? And what they're wanting me to do is take this proposal back to Farm Credit and see if Farm Credit will make them a loan. They're needing some money to do this. So I told them I would. And I walked on over here and sat down and talked to Mr. John Burr Murphy a minute. The first thing he said, did Mr. Price and Mr. Ware get a hold of you? He said, they've been over here. They've been aggravating me all afternoon about this proposal they've got to replace tobacco. I said, yeah, that's the first thing they said. As soon as they come in over here, they hand me this, want me to go back to Farm Credit and see if they'll make them a loan. Let me just share with you what it is, and I want a recommendation from this group tonight as to what I want to do, whether I should take it any further or not. Price already over here holding his head down. I don't know. A lot of things in lending business, you're supposed to keep things confidential. You're not supposed to tell who's wanting to borrow money from you, that type of thing. But this is so good, I just had to share it, We'll take that risk. What they're wanting to do, they're wanting to go to Mexico and start a cat ranch. Now, this is new to me, so y'all listen to what their proposal says. They don't want to do it in Casey County. They want to, everything is closing down and heading south where the labor is cheap. This is one of their proposals. If I make them a loan to go to Mexico and buy a cat ranch, said it's their purpose is to start rather small, about 1 million cats. That's what they want to start with. They said each cat averages about 12 kittens a year. And their whole scheme is they're going to sell the hides from these cats. Said each cat averaged about 12 kittens each year. Said skins can be sold for about 20 cents for the white ones and about 40 cents for the black ones. Said this will give us about 12 million cat skins per year to sell at an average price of about 32 cents, making our revenues about $3 million a year. So this averages out to be about $10,000 a day, excluding Sundays and holidays. Said a good worker in Mexico can skin 50 cats a day, and he'd work for $3.15 a day, and this would all take about 663 employees to operate this ranch. So this would be a net profit of about $8,200 a day. They've done their homework. They've got a good plan here, so. Said now, the cats would need to be fed, and we're going to feed them rats. Said rats multiply 4 times as fast as cats, and said we'd start a rat race just adjacent to this cat ranch. So if we start with 1 million rats, we will have 4 rats per cat per day. The rats will feed on the carcasses of the cats as we skin them. So this will give each rat a quarter of a cat. You can see with this that the business is a clean operation, self-supported, and really automatic throughout. So the cats will eat the rats, and the rats will eat the cats, and we will get skins. Now this is their plan. And they said their long-range plan is that they hope to cross these cats with snakes, for the snakes will skin themselves twice a year and they can save on labor. So this will give us 2 skins for 1 cat. So I don't know, do y'all want me to take this back and present it to my board or not? All right, we'll do that. One final thing I'd like to share with you. You know, this email, I always like to email will get you all kinds of information. And this one, someone sent me this a few days ago. I thought it was kind of catchy. And for you seniors that's getting ready to go to college, you'll need some of these supplies. It says a survival kit for everyday living. And it lists a number of things here you need. It says you'll need a toothpick. You need a rubber band. You need a Band-Aid. You need a pencil. You need an eraser. You need some chewing gum. And you need a mint. You need a candy kiss, and you need a tea bag. Now here's why it says why you need each of these. It says for a toothpick, it says take the toothpick because to remind you to pick out the good qualities in others. So the rubber band is to remind you to be flexible. And things might not always be the way you want it, but it will work out. It says the Band-Aid to remind you to heal hurt feelings, yours and someone else's. It says the pencil to remind you to list your blessings every day. And an eraser to remind you everyone makes a mistake and it's okay. And you need some chewing gum to remind you to stick with it and you can accomplish anything. And it says you need a mint to remind you that you are worth a mint. The candy kiss is to remind you everyone needs a kiss or a hug every day. And a tea bag is to remind you to relax daily and reflect on all the positive things in your life. Thank you very much.
Madam Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Honorary member ceremonies.
It is always a pleasure to receive honorary members into the FFA. The purpose of this ceremony is to recognize from time to time the efforts of others made in our behalf. Madam Secretary, please read the section of the National Constitution which provides for honorary membership.
Honorary membership. Farmers, school superintendents, principals, members of boards of education, chapter advisors, teachers, staff members in agricultural education, business people, and others who are helping to advance agricultural education and the FFA and who have rendered outstanding service may be elected to honorary membership by a majority vote of members present at any regular meeting or convention.
Madam Secretary, will you introduce those who are to receive this honor?
Madam President, members, and guests, I am pleased to read the following teachers' names: Miss Beverly Hoskins, Miss Jo Wilkinson, and Miss Jane Henson.
Will the officers take their places beside me? Will the ushers please present the candidates?
friends of the FFA, it is my privilege as Sentinel to extend to each one of you symbolic hand clasp of friendship and brotherhood.
As reporter, I'm pleased to inform you that the FFA is a national youth organization whose purpose is to develop agricultural leaders. Welcome to leadership. Your contribution as a useful citizen in our democracy serves as an example for our members to follow. As treasurer, I welcome you to the organization. The FFA needs counsel and guidance from recognized leaders. It is my pleasure as secretary to add your names to our roll of honorary members.
As Vice President, I welcome you to the FFA. I would inform you that our members learn to appreciate the dignity of labor. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much.
On behalf of every member, I wish to say we are proud to have you as honorary members. May this affiliation prove valuable to all. I encourage you for counsel and guidance. It is because of the great respect we have for you that you have been elected to honorary membership. May we always cooperate for the benefit of all. I now confer upon you honorary membership in the Casey County FFA chapter and present you with this token of membership. Madam Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Presentation of scholarships by Mr. Brent Ware.
These two ladies that we just recognized have been people who have really helped us throughout the years, even when Mr. Murphy was here. Ms. Hoskins helps us with the creed speaker and our impromptus every year. And Ms. Wilson has helped us set up the banquet for many years. Let's give them another round of applause. I'm going to do several things tonight. One of them is I'm going to give out the scholarships for this year. And this scholarship program was started in 1987 and 88 by Mr. Murphy and Mr. Price. And as I was looking through a very thick folder in my filing cabinet yesterday, I counted up, and there have been 42 students that have benefited from these scholarships through the years. This year's scholarships are sponsored by the Casey County Beef Producers, Casey County Pork Producers, Casey County Conservation District, Farm Credit Services, Southern States, and Food World of Stanford. And they are for $400 each. The first recipient is Misty Atwood. Misty will be attending Eastern Kentucky University and majoring in agriculture. The next person is Corey Hayes, and he will be attending Lexington Community College and majoring in landscape architecture. Next one is Margaret Richardson, and she has plans to attend Eastern and major in child psychology. And Rachel Blevins. Her plans are to attend Cumberland College with a major in elementary education. I would also like to recognize Billy Hatter. Billy, please stand. He's gone. Billy is our regional treasurer this year, and we just wanted to recognize him for that. I'd like to call out a couple things in your program. If you look there for the state FFA degrees, you'll see 9 people's names. That is a large number for us. It shows how active the senior class was. And if these people will stand as I call your name, Misty Atwood, and remain standing, please. Corey Hayes, Margaret Richardson, Kelly Burke, Brandon Sturgill, Kristen Cooper, Michael Vaughn, Deonica Asbury, and Danny Pendleton. Just keep standing for me, please. Give them a round of applause. The third highest degree that a student in the FFA can receive. And I'll be taking these students to the state convention in June to receive those degrees. Also, a great turnout of seniors tonight, and I'd like these people to stand with the state FFA degree. Sarah Miller, T.J. Hayes, Tammy Pittman, Nick Webb, Adam Kane, Bradley Webb, Lori Sharp, Casey Phillippe, Lisa Dern, and Rachel Blevins. Like I said, we've got an excellent turnout of seniors tonight, and I do appreciate these guys for that. These members have worked hard for 4 years for Mr. Price and myself, and we do appreciate their work. And I have enjoyed the time that I've spent with all these students. Let's give them a big round of applause, please. Thanks. Also in your program, you'll look and you'll see Casey County FFA 1999-2000 State Gold Emblem Chapter. This is the 6th year out of 7 that we've been rated a Gold Emblem Chapter. There's only 144 chapters in the state of Kentucky, and we will be one of the top ones because of our activities, because of the work we've done with our secretary's book. Margaret has done a lot of work with it this year, and I think that is a big accomplishment for our chapter to be State Gold Emblem Chapter again. Before I sit down, I'm going to get these retiring officers up here. Each one of them has a few words to say, and we will start with our Sentinel, Michael Vaughn.
First of all, I would like to thank God for giving me the strength and knowledge to fulfill my duty as citizen. My parents for always being there to give me support and guidance during my high school years. I would also like to thank my teachers, Mr. Ware and Mr. Price, for their leadership and friendship in my FFA membership. Their encouragement to become an officer has given me the confidence to speak in front of you today, and for that I am very grateful. And last, my fellow officers and members, thank you for your friendship and for the memories that we shared, especially Corey Hayes, who is not only an officer, but my best friend. You have always been there for me, and I hope we always have this friendship. Thanks a lot.
The FFA means a lot to me, and it all started out about 3 years ago. Halfway through my sophomore year, I joined FFA, and at that first meeting, I knew that I wanted to give all I could to this club. I had so many great memories from this year, and I know I'll always have them close to my heart. From my first speaking competition to finding out I was chosen for the 1999-2000 quarter, the state and national conventions, I've had a blast. I want to thank God for giving me all these memories, and I know without him, I couldn't have done any of this. Mr. Ware, Mr. Price, thank you so much for giving me the opportunities you have. I've learned so much from you, and I'll always have the blessings close at my heart. I want to thank my parents for always being behind me in everything I do, and giving me the encouragement to reach for the stars. My fellow officers, thank you for everything this past year. You were already some of my closest friends, but now I feel as if I know you even closer. I want to thank the FFA members. Without you giving 110% in everything that was asked of you, this club couldn't be as successful as it is. And to next year's officers, good luck, and I hope you have as much fun as I had.
I've been in the FFA for 4 years, and I served as treasurer for 2. I've learned a lot of things, and I've met a lot of great people, and I'd like to thank Mr. Price and Mr. Ware for helping me out, and for my family and friends for always being there for me. And Mr. Ware, thanks for the acetone.
I didn't write a retirement speech, so I'm just going to talk from the heart. When I enrolled in high school as a freshman, I wasn't even in ag classes, and all my friends were in ag classes, and they encouraged me to change my schedule, so I did, and then I enrolled in FFA, and now I'm an officer, and I'm glad that I did. There's been times when I've, wondered why I did, but all in all, it's been more good than there ever was bad. And this year's officer team, you guys know that you'll always be my best friends, and I hope you always consider me one of your best friends. The next year's officer team, hope you always work as a team, and you'll always be a team, and you'll always have people to go back to, and hope you have as much fun as we've had. And to my mom and dad, I want to thank you for always being there for me. Even when I didn't always win, and for hauling me around to all the FFA competitions, and for listening to my speeches when I know you really weren't interested. To Mr. Ware, Mr. Price. I know we've been through some things, and we've had to work really hard. And you'll always mean the world to me. And I thank you for always being there for me, Mr. Ware, when I needed to figure out polish your paper, Mr. Price, when I ran out of gas. You've always been there for me in more ways than one, so I want to thank you.
I guess now is the time to be a man, huh? Don't show your emotions, but to be weak. But first of all, I'd like to thank God for the opportunity and to let me experience something like this. It's been an honor to serve this chapter for the last 2 years. Guys, you mean the world to me. Highlights of my career as an FFA member, not only an officer, was the state convention last year, farm machinery shows, and also the national convention this year. Like Brandon said earlier, some of our experiences in the FFA won't stop here tonight as seniors, and I hope they don't. Mine's not going to. I'm bound and determined to hold state office this year. I'm going to represent this chapter, this region, this organization well if elected, and I hope that I can. Mr. Price, although you never taught me an ag class, you've always given me a lot of nice words of encouragement, and I appreciate that. If you all don't know Mr. Price, he's a big man. And he's intimidating sometimes, and when he wants to get his point across, he will. He's never hit me. Don't get me wrong there, but just that tone of voice he's got, I believe all the Prices do. Just that tone of voice he's got, he'll make you think about things, and, sometimes, if you don't know me, I like to cut up a little bit sometimes, and Mr. Price will put me back in line. for that. Mr. Ware, where do we start? A very, very long time ago, not really just 4 years, but I don't know if I should consider him a brother. I don't know if I should consider him as a second father or just a teacher. You know? He always has this one question I ask him every day in class. Did I take you to raise? Yes, Mr. Ware, I believe you did. These two guys they can have a great influence on your life. And I'm sorry I can't look you in the eyes right now, but they can change a man or a boy, whatever you want to call me, in so many ways. I thank you for that. All the members here tonight, thank you for coming and being part of your banquet. This just isn't for us, it's for you. And I hope one day that if you set a goal that you will achieve it. That's one thing I've learned in FFA. It's very easy to set a goal, but it can be hard to achieve one. Now my goal is to be a state officer. And I'm going to try to achieve it. It's not going to hurt me physically. It's not going to hurt me mentally. If I don't achieve it, and if I do, I'll be all right. I'll live to see another day. But freshmen, sophomores, juniors, if you want to be in this position someday, strive for it. Show your leadership abilities. Show your speaking abilities. Show what you're made of. Because if you don't show it now, then I don't know if you ever will. To the fellow officers, Missy Atwood, I don't know what to say about you. We've had a lot of discussions, and you are a very intelligent person, and I appreciate you, and I'm glad that I did get to be part of the chapter where you served as president. Margaret Richardson, there's another one. Margaret's the kind of person that you really don't know when to talk to and how to talk to. You know, sometimes she'll come in and give you this look. And, okay, Margaret, I want to talk to you. And other times it's like, hey, what's going on, man? You know, you just got to watch yourself around her. I'm just playing. Margaret, you're an outstanding person, an outstanding officer, and I thank you for the privilege for letting me work with you for these 2 years. Kelly Burke, we've known each other since kindergarten. I could sit here and talk about you for 3 or 4 minutes, I guess. Kelly's another one of those persons, you know, she's moody. She's got those up and down times. But I guess that's okay. You guys don't know what you mean to me. I don't like to tell you a lot of times because, you know, you may get the big head or something. I don't know. But I appreciate you all, Kelly. Thanks for being my friend for, is it 13 years now, something like that? And thank you for letting me serve with you on this officer team for 2 years. Kristen Cooper, she's always got a smile on her face. I've never seen her in a bad mood. I'm sure she's been in bad moods, but I've never seen her in one. And I'm not lying. She'll make you smile, and you have to make her smile. I mean, she already is smiling when you see her. Thank you for all the things that we've done together, and thank you for all the times that we've had here with the FFA. Michael Vaughn, I don't know what to say about you, bud. I guess you're one of my best friends, too. I've known Michael ever since 3rd or 4th grade, and he's always been a real great friend. He's never said anything mean, nasty, dirty, anything to me. He's always been my buddy. He's been a whole lot bigger than I am. That's the only reason I like him. He's bigger than I am, and he can beat me up. So that's not fun sometimes. But he'll help you out any way possible, and I thank you for that, Mike. I hope that our friendship never fails. To all the senior members, guys, we've finally made it. Finally made it. I hope that each and every one of you have enjoyed the opportunities that you've had here at the FFA. I know they've been great for me, and I hope you can say the same. Underclass members, strive to fulfill your dreams and to fulfill your goals. Because you never know what's around the next corner. You never know who you're going to run into. And you never know what you're going to say or what you're going to accomplish until it's done. Guys, this is a wonderful organization, and I wish you all the best of luck. The incoming officers, it's not as easy as it looks. You don't just get to dress up on club days, put on black pants, or a black skirt, a white shirt, and your FFA jacket and sit there. There's things that go on. You're going to be faced with people. You're going to be faced with things that normal FFA members would be asked to face. Guys, listen to your two advisors, because they'll never tell you anything wrong. I'd like to thank my parents for at least having me for 18 years. I'm surprised I haven't got kicked out now, but I'm still there. I love you both. To the guests, thank you all for attending. Hope to see you some other time. If we run into each other on the street, say, how you doing? You know, I'm going to smile. I'm going to wave at you, shake your hand, whatever you want, as long as I keep you happy. Bob. The sponsors. Did I say that out loud? I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. The sponsors, thank you all for supporting us. We couldn't do it without you. God bless you all. And for right now, that's all I've got to say.
First and foremost, I would like to thank God for having the upper hand in all that I do. I want to thank Mr. Ware and Mr. Price for letting me have a chance at being a leader in this organization. I'd like to say thanks to my brothers and sisters. There's no way to explain how you've helped me achieve my goals, but you all have. Marty, thanks for the truck. Mom, Dad, thank you for providing a clean, safe home and for caring if I know right from wrong. The lessons you've taught me are the most valuable of my possessions. When I was sitting in the audience years ago, when Mark was an officer, I remember thinking to myself, those guys are professionals, the way they handled opening ceremonies. I knew then and there I was going to be an FFA officer. I had no clue how I was going to do that, but my goal was set and I was determined to be an officer. As a freshman, I volunteered for every public activity possible. I worked in the shop, did whatever it took to let Mr. Ware know I was going to be a good FFA member. That year, I was co-star greenhand, and I knew nothing was going to stand in my way. Every person I met has wished me luck with my FFA career. There has been times when I wanted to give up, but I didn't. Something inside made me go on. That driving force is in all of us. The need for success is just as strong in you as it is in me. There is no saying you are known for the company you keep. Right now, in this room, I feel I'm in the best company of what really matters, family and friends. Future officers, there is not an I in team. However, there is an us in trust. It is important to the future of the FFA that you learn teamwork and have trust for your fellow members and trust in yourself. The last paragraph in the FFA Creed says that agriculture will hold true to the best traditions. I only hope that I have had an influence in my home and community that will stand solid in my future. I have written a poem. As I walked in, I realized it was for the last time. These last 4 years, they've been mine. All the time spent preparing for this night has been well spent, for I want it to be just right. To all my friends and family, thank you, and God bless you too. To Mom and Dad, you've been with me all the way. Thank you. I love you both. What more can I say? Through all the losses and wins, I know your patience have worn quite thin, but thanks anyway. I only hope I can return the favor someday. By working in the shop, I've gotten to know many. And I only hope, and I can't count on my friends, but I know I've gotten a lot. I hope I've helped in some little way to teach you to pass on the knowledge someday. So much has been given to me by J. Price been like dads to me, guys. Thanks for being there. The knowledge you've given me will be passed on long after our lives have gone. In a sense, tonight, the officers and I are passing on the torch of devotion to the FFA. We'll choose our own paths, we'll follow our own leads. There's just a little more that I've got to say. The new officers want us to be gone so they can lead the pack. Guys, always remember to respect the FFA, listen to Mr. Ware and Mr. Price, and above all, keep your honor and dignity intact. Thank you all. Madam Secretary, what is the next item of business?
Installation of new officers.
Will the newly elected officers please step forward and stand at your respective stations? Ashley Estes, as President-elect, you have been selected by your fellow members to be the leader of our chapter for the coming year. You are therefore responsible for guiding our chapter in all its worthy undertakings. May you work intelligently and seriously to fulfill the responsibilities of your office.
Brandon Garrett, as Vice President-elect, your record of accomplishments indicates you have these qualities of leadership which we all should possess. You are to assist the President in directing the work of our chapter, preside over meetings in our absence, keep all committees working effectively.
Jody Hatter, as Secretary-elect, you have been chosen to keep accurate minutes of our meetings and to carry on the chapter correspondence. You should provide the chapter with the order of business and committee assignments for each meeting. You will also keep a list of members, a record of degrees awarded, and have custody of the Constitution and bylaws.
Lauren, as Treasurer-elect, you have been placed in a position of trust. Your duties require you to keep an accurate record of receipts and disbursements and to provide regular financial reports. It is also your responsibility to assist in developing the chapter's budget and maintaining sound financial practices.
Andrea Salyers, as reporter-elect, your duty is to inform the public about the FFA. You're expected to work closely with the news media, including state and national FFA publications. You should keep a record of photographs and articles published concerning the FFA and its members, and be responsible for compiling our FFA history.
Mike Peavy, as Sentinel-elect, your duties include welcoming our friends, caring for the meeting rooms and FFA equipment, and providing for the comfort of our members and guests. It is also your duty to assist in conducting meetings and ceremonies.
It is an honor to be an officer in the FFA. From time to time during the year, you may encounter difficult problems, but through cooperation, hard work, and dedication, you will succeed and the FFA will prosper. Do each of you accept the responsibilities of your office, or will you do your best to uphold the ideas and principles of the FFA? If so, answer, we do. I now declare each of you properly and duly installed in the respective office to which you were elected. May your year of service be marked by integrity, dedication, and cooperative spirit. Seek harmony among your fellow FFA officers and set high standards of leadership for all chapter members. Retiring officers, will you please escort the newly installed officers to their stations?
Madam Secretary, what is the next item of business?
The presentation of flags to retiring officers.
We will now present the retiring officers with their flags. Every year, the club presents the retiring and newly elected president's mothers with flowers from the two head tables. Will Missy's mother and my mother please come forward and receive their flowers? We are about to adjourn this meeting at the Casey County FFA chapter. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag.